Hey everyone, my name's Griffin, and today I'm going to be covering a topic that's been highly requested on my channel, and that is basically what everyone really wants to know when they're watching Amazon FBA related YouTube videos, and that is what are some real life revenues and profits that you can expect from launching your first product on Amazon, and what are some realistic goals that you should set yourself going forward with this project. Now, I'm not talking here about potential sales revenues or projected sales revenues for a certain amount of time. I'm gonna actually go into my Seller Central account for the first account that I had on Amazon and show you what the sales figures were for my first product over the course of roughly 6-7 months. Now, I do still have a couple units in stock for that product, so I'm not going to be showing you the exact product, but I will be showing you the sales figures over time, what happened and what my strategy was going forward with this first product, and essentially how it ended up failing over time. And from this, I'll be showing you what exactly I learned from launching this first product and how I applied these lessons to my new products that I'm now selling on another platform that are in a much bigger market. And the reason why I want to be transparent with you and show you the figures that I got for this first product is because I want to motivate you to take action, and I want to show you that even though this profit did end up somewhat failing due to oversaturation of the market, leading to smaller profit margins, this was still a great learning opportunity, and I did strategically plan out going into this smaller niche market that had less upside potential in order to build a nest egg of capital so I could then branch off into more competitive product niches and essentially a longer term viable product. And this is actually a strategy that I did outline in the ebook that I wrote. If you haven't checked it out, there's a link down in the description. It's a free 30-page ebook that I wrote explaining basically if you have limited capital like I did when I started with my first product, this is a way that you can essentially build up some starting capital without being too risky in terms of going into a product niche where you're going to have to spend excessive amounts of money on PPC and other forms of advertising in order to rank your product, which could be super costly and drain your small amount of capital at the beginning. And although I don't plan on selling this product in the future, I do, however, as I said earlier, have about 200 units still left in stock. So once that stock is depleted, I won't have any problems sharing with you what that first product was. But as of right now, I'm just gonna still show you guys the sale figures, but I won't actually be exposing the product. So straight off the bat, the reason why I went into this first product was because I used the Jungle Scout web app and I was still new to the whole thing. I wanted to find a product that had certain criteria, and basically I found this product quite rapidly and the market looked decent. And what I mean by decent is there was one other competitor doing about $40,000 to $50,000 in sales figures per month. So I basically thought, if this one person is doing 40 to 50,000, I could easily replicate this product, go into the market, and essentially capture about half of their market share. My strategy was I would launch this product that's in a really low competition niche. It would cost me relatively nothing to rank it organically all the way up to the first page, which I did eventually do after about 5-6 sales. I was ranked to page 1 as the second listing. And essentially I'd be able to go and capture a good amount of this person's market share. So that is what I did. I initially ordered about 200 units and I sent it into Amazon, and exactly what I expected happened. I sold out of those 200 units, and I think about 11 days. We'll look at it shortly on my Amazon Seller Central account. So yeah, the sale price was $28.99 for about 200 units, which was just under $6,000 US in revenue for 11 days. So obviously I was freaking out. I was super happy, and that was out of around a 35% margin. Once again, because I didn't need to spend any money whatsoever ranking the product with PPC or external traffic or anything like that. But what happened after that was I quickly ran into a problem that I've covered in a couple of my other videos, which was lack of capital and lack of cash flow in order to reorder a new batch of units so that I would keep my seller rating. So what ended up happening is I sold 200 units very quickly, and my product got a really low seller score in that product niche, which is really good. What ended up happening though is because I was out of stock for an excessive amount of time, my seller rating eventually went back up slowly, and other competitors were able to come into the market, basically making more competition and driving my sales rank up. So if you are new to Amazon though and you don't know this, from the moment that you make your first sale, Amazon will pay you out after 3 weeks. So in my particular case though, I was sold out in 11 days and I used all my capital in order to make my first order of 200 units. So you can probably imagine what happened. I didn't have enough money in order to make a new order. By the time I got paid out 3 weeks later, then I made an order. It took about a month for new units to get in. There were a ton of other competitors that had entered the market and essentially stole some market share from me. Now, this wasn't necessarily a terrible thing because I did keep a certain amount of my seller rating, and as soon as I got a new order of like 500 units in, I quickly regained traction and was eventually able to sell out once again of those 500 units. That said, one valuable lesson that I learned from that is when you're starting your Amazon journey, you should definitely have enough capital for your first order and that same amount of capital for another order that you're just keeping in reserve so that you can avoid this cash flow situation that I ran into at the beginning of my sales. Now, if you're still watching the video at this point, I know you're probably excited to see my Amazon sales, but I just want to say one more really valuable lesson that I learned here, and that is don't necessarily rely on one piece of software like the Jungle Scout web app, for example, to essentially make your decision for which products you're going to sell on the platform. So in my particular case, yes, now the product is somewhat failing due to lack of margins, but it did, my plan did pan out exactly how I wanted to. I was able to start up with a product with really low capital and build it up to a really significant nest egg so that now, once again, I can launch new products, which I already have done on another account. I have 3 products up right now that were funded with this first initial product. So I would absolutely recommend when you're doing product research to stick to organic product research methods on the Amazon platform. Mostly, I have a ton of videos on my channel that talk about these styles of product research, so if that interests you, check them out. I'll probably put some links down in the description. But without further ado, let's log on to that other seller account and I will show you the sales figures over the past 6-7 months. Alright, so here we are on the Amazon Seller Central platform where you can see here the sales over the last about 7 months of this first product that I had launched back in the end of April. So basically what I was talking about earlier, you can see here a visual representation of that. So I had 200 units, sold them out really quickly. I think it was like 20 days, something like that. And then I ran into this cash flow issue here that I want you to avoid if you're going to be launching your own product, right? So as I said earlier in the video, the way that you can avoid this is, let's say this order here, I don't remember exactly, but let's say it was $2,000 to make this order. You should have $2,000 also set aside so that if you run into a problem like this, where I had, you're able to make another order with your supplier in order to expedite the process of being back in stock, because Amazon hates when you're out of stock and your seller rating will trickle back up. And for those of you who don't know, you want your seller rating in Amazon to be as low as possible. So yeah, as you can see here, I had another order of about 500 units, sold all those out, and now I do still have some units in stock. I have about 200 units that are still in stock. The sales are a lot slower on this product now because, as I said earlier, a lot of new competitors came into the market due to the fact that it was a Jungle Scout web app product, right? It's a product that I found on that platform, and it's a product that basically a lot of other sellers or people who are looking to sell or start selling were also able to see. So that's definitely one thing that I pulled out of this whole experience with this first product was going forward, the new products that I found and that I'm selling on another account, I found with different product research techniques, which are based around organic research on the Amazon platform. So once again, if that interests you, I have other videos on my channel that cover this topic. But you've probably already seen right here, these are the sales that I did with this first product in US dollars. So I'm Canadian, and this actually equates to about just under $30,000 in sales. And my profit margins over the whole course here, obviously in this section here, my profit margins were about 35-36%. Here they were also about the same And then now here though, they're a lot lower, right? I'm only making about $2 here in profits per sale due to the fact that more competition drove the price down. So overall, I've made about $9,000 Canadian in profit from this first product, which I actually think is really significant. For a first product, it allowed me to learn all about Amazon, how it works, and it allowed me to avoid certain mistakes going forward. I learned a lot from this product, and I want you guys to learn from this experience as well, right? So if you are trying to do your own product research and you want to launch your own product on Amazon, definitely go for it, right? I mean, even though these aren't spectacular numbers for this one product, it allowed me to go into new products that have a lot more potential for growth in the future. And I was able to start this whole business on about a $2,000 investment back when I started around here. And in my opinion, if you're going to be doing organic product research on the Amazon platform, all you really need is the Jungle Scout Chrome extension, which I've covered extensively in other videos. But essentially what it does is you go onto a product niche on Amazon and you can click on this extension. Basically it's this one right here, and it will show you all the sales figures per month. It'll show you sales figures of each product listing. It'll show you reviews. It'll show you average daily sales, monthly revenues, and a whole slew of other data that will pretty much give you a nice portrait of that product niche. So product research is by far what's the most important for your success overall when you're doing Amazon FBA. So check out my other videos about that. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment any questions down below that you might have. I'll answer every single one of them. And also consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out a lot. And if you're interested in online sales, whether it's Amazon, Shopify, or any other type of thing, I cover a lot of different topics on this channel. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.